If you have never worked with the camera editor in iRacing, please see my Introduction to Custom Cameras tutorial in my iRacing Custom Camera tutorial playlist. It covers a lot of the basics that I will not cover with each individual tutorial. It'll save a lot of time and questions being asked. Thank you very much. Alright, gonna share a little secret with you, not too well known. If you're in your cockpit and it seems like to be a little too low, the engine noise or whatnot, I'm going to show you how to adjust that in the camera settings. I'm going to hit pause here. So first of all, we're going to come over here to options and then sound. Here's where your sound levels are. Your master, I usually leave that at about minus 7 dB. Engine's at about 2. You can kind of look at my settings here. I have the wind turned all the way off. I don't need that. I've got hotkeys set to raise and lower the sound in the game in the cockpit. Then over here on voice chat, I have hotkeys so I can raise or lower or even mute the voice chat. So you kind of want to find a happy medium here. Then we're going to come down. We're in the cockpit. Going to hit Control C to bring up the camera. I had it minimized, so there's the camera for the cockpit. I believe by default it's at 1 or 0. Well, I think it might be 0. That's pretty quiet to me. So I'm going to raise it up a little bit. I think I had it at about 3. Now that just seems a little bit better to me. Okay, so you want to save that. You're going to need to save the car that you're in. In this case, I'm in the Gander truck, and I have it listed as Gander Cam. I would save that, and then overwrite. I'm not going to do that specifically. Now, here's one of the little idiosyncrasies of some of these camera settings, specifically to the car. And there are several of them. There's the suspensions and the gyro, the cockpit, yada, yada, yada. You have to save the track also. Now, whatever track you're at, if you've never played with any of your camera settings, you will not have anything there. I believe it'll show default. But whatever track you're at, doesn't matter. I like to date mine to keep an eye on the progression of my cameras over time. Just put in there, you know, whatever track you're at, you know, Knoxville, Chicago, Talladega, whatever, and save it. I highly recommend you do not overwrite the default. That way you can always go back to the default settings and see what they are set at. Create a name for the track or the truck or the car and then save it. Then the next time you go to any track, the cockpit volume should be at what you just set it. If you just save the car and jump from one track to the next, that setting will not be what you had it set at. So again, kind of ridiculous, kind of just the way it is. Save the car, save the track, and you're good to go, and your cockpit volume is now set. Now, just to clarify, I have made so many changes at so many tracks over the time here in iRacing that it could be, and this, I don't know if this is true or not, to be 100% honest with you, if you have never made any camera adjustments to any track and you make this cockpit volume adjustment on a track and then you go to the next track, open up that cockpit camera file and see what the dB is set at. If it's at the default 0 or 1 or whatever it was, and say you had it set up to 5, then you're going to have to change it. Save the track. And again, with the car cameras, I'm not sure why you have to save it at the track sometimes in order for it to stick. So save it at the car and the track every time. And again, if you've never made any changes to the camera files, save it as the name of the track, and then at least you've covered all your bases there. Now, of course, when you change things in here, in car specifically, I would imagine, everything that would act upon what you've already got set. So if you're finding that the cockpit is just way too quiet, no matter what you have here, come over to the cockpit camera, make your setting here, adjust it the way you like, save the car, save the track, you're good to go. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and we'll see you next time.